What did you make of Usyk? Because a lot of his comments seem to refer more to Tyson Fury than they did to Daniel. We don't think he's overlooking Daniel because he's a consummate professional, but is that a concern for his camp?
I don't know. I mean, I want to put this to bed once for all because it's becoming very tedious, this situation with him and Tyson. It is tedious because it seems to have taken a life of its own, Dan, and the facts are different than what is out there and what's being said. And I took him to task on it, Alex, and when we did the round table, I asked him a direct question. He was asked a question by Carl Frampton. And Carl asked him why he'd been inactive. And then he came back and said it was because of the situation with Tyson. And really, that's quite disrespectful, by the way, the fact that we were there to talk to Daniel and him. But anyway, that's what came up. And I answered it, and I said, look, Alex, did we make you an offer? And he said yes. And I said, did you accept the financial terms? He said yes. I said, then you changed your mind over what your words, not mine, some small points. I said, and then you went and done a deal with Skills Challenge in Saudi, and you've told everybody that you were fighting in December. We made you another offer. I think it was just before we announced the fight with Nagano. Again, made you an offer, and you turned it down. And there are many interviews out there. Certainly one that I showed and quoted was he said, we're with the Skills Challenge and we'll be making an offer to you, or to Tyson, I should say, and it'll be a take it or leave it offer, and this is what it's going to be, and so forth. And he said that offer would be made, and this was back in very beginning of June, after this was bouncing backwards and forwards. And I said to him, and you never made an offer. We never had an offer. We never had an offer from anybody. Never once have we had an offer. And we're the only ones who are making offers. And we've made you a couple of offers. And it's not going to happen now in December because there's no date in December for it to happen. So the objective was, and take out all this greedy belly stuff, was that Tyson said, it's not going on in Saudi. We know it's not going to go on Saudi this year. So do it at Wembley. And it is what it is. It generates what it generates. But, they got it in their head they're going to get paid 70 million. And that is why it didn't happen. I mean, these are their words that they've signed up to go to Saudi. Subsequently, we lobbied the WBA for the mandatory. And as we know, we are where we are now with Daniel. And I think Daniel's going to upset that apple cart anyway. So.
Okay, so we just heard Frank Warren ask Alex Usyk a question. Did you accept the offer? And he said yes. He said, then you changed your mind over small points. And he said yes. And he said, okay. Then after that, they signed with Skills Challenge. And then they made you an offer with Tyson Fury. Again. And that's where I have to come in and correct Frank. That wasn't how it went. What happened? Yes. Right after the negotiations with Tyson Fury, the Daniel Dubois fight was made. As you guys can see, it was made before he signed with Skills Challenge. Skills Challenge came after that fight with Dubois. But then it makes Frank look bad because Frank is then saying, well, we made you an offer with Tyson Fury. You turned that offer down. Then you signed with Skills Challenge. Then we offered you another deal. Then you signed with Dubois. No, he already had confirmed with Dubois. They went on purse bid. Okay, and he had signed that fight with Dubois, the same promoter, which is Frank Warren, did the same shit. So he knows exactly what he was doing. Frank didn't care anyway, because Frank knew if I don't get Tyson with Usyk, I can get Daniel Dubois with Usyk. Either way, he's going to fight for the unified champions, and if whoever wins, it won't matter. Tyson Fury can do what he wants to do anyway because he's the WBC, and with the WBC lobbying anything, they won't make you do anything. Okay, so he basically has a belt that he has no obligations to. Okay? So him saying that, hey, we made you an offer, you guys decided to put your pens down, which I thought was weird, okay? Because it didn't have to be a situation where they left a fight that big over something that was overcome that big. Okay, and since that fight was that close to being done, why would a rematch clause even be coming into question? And that's the question you ask yourself. Who put the rematch clause into question? Tyson Fury. Okay, so after this huge hurdle was jumped, accomplished, made, cleared, okay, then Tyson Fury then started bringing up rematch clauses. Okay, well, is it the issue with the rematch clauses, or is it the issue with your 70-30 that you want and his 30 that you want him to have or to accept? So since he accepted it, you moved on to another issue. I know exactly what happened, and they did too. You know, and I think it's time for Oleksandr Usyk and Frank Warren to stop acting like they're friends, because they're not friends. They're not friends. They are acquaintances due to business only. They don't have anything in common. The only thing they have in common is Frank has a fighter and they have a fighter. But it doesn't mean that they have to walk on eggshells and do all this respectful stuff, you know, and code certain words that they say, or leave out certain things that happen. They don't have to do that. If you're going to tell it, my thing is tell it all. Because what happened last week, Alex Usyk said some stuff that was real funny. He said that, hey, I have information about Tyson Fury that if I said and I explained it to you guys, it would ruin Tyson Fury's career. Well, if that's the case, you knowing information about Tyson Fury is not enough, because you wanted everyone to know that you have information, but you don't want to tell what that information is. I call that chicken shit. I do. Because you don't make messy comments like that unless you want it to intrigue someone for a particular reason. Okay? Don't tease, please. That's what my motto is. Okay? So as far as Oleksandr Usyk goes, you can't let someone that doesn't give two shits like Frank Warren to run the show and to overspeak you like that for only the terms of being civilized or, you know, dignified or professional, you know, or what's the word I'm looking for? Decent. Okay? So it doesn't really matter in that point. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Frank Warren replying to Oleksandr Usyk and his comments towards Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!